Hello, hello, hello. Don't know if anyone can hear me. I'm going live now. It's Roz Thornton and Richard Machon. Richard will be coming on later, and we will be talking about soulmates tonight. So welcome back to the Inspiration Show. We've had a little break as people start to go back to work after lockdown. So we decided to take a little break, but we are now back, and we will be back on the last Wednesday of every month. So we're just going to come back for one day a month. And yeah, so it's really exciting to be back. We are going to be talking about soulmates tonight. We interviewed a wonderful lady called Gale De Souza. And after this live, we are going to post the link to her video. And what you will see is us, myself and Richard, interviewing her. And she was a fantastic lady. Hi, Angela. And she's a soulmate love attraction coach, and she's been doing it for about 6 years. And she is such an inspiration, but she's also a wealth of knowledge on actual finding your soulmate. So if anyone out there is looking to find their soulmate, then this is definitely the show for you. So yeah, so we're looking forward to talking about some of the things that came up in the interview. So without further ado, I am just going to get on with it. I'm just going to wait and see who else, if anyone else is coming online. So Richard, if you're online, do let me know that you're here, and then I can invite you on and we can talk about stuff together. But Gale De Souza is a certified love attraction coach. Like I said, she's been doing this work for 6 years. She's also worked internationally. Hi, Margia. We're talking about soulmates tonight. She works with conscious, successful people who are clear that the way that they are trying to find their soulmate is not working. So those who want to experience a more powerful heart-to-heart and soul connection, then Gale is definitely the person for you. And at the end of the show, we are going to let you know how you can access Gale, because she is actually going to be offering some free sessions. So let me just see if Richard is coming online, and I'm going to add him, and then we are going to go some of the things that we discussed with Gale. So let us know, have your comments. And hi, Richard, how are you?
I I
It's
made
been a
it, sir.
while. It's been a while.
I was struggling to get on. It's great
Oh
to
no,
see you.
don't worry, don't worry. It's good to see you. Good to see you. I'm actually on my phone tonight, so if you see me squinting, it's because I can't see the
You,
letters.
you, you need a new iPhone.
Yeah, well, a new iPad. That's probably that's what I'm normally on my iPad, but I'm on my phone today. So yeah, it's a bit smaller than what I'm used to. So if you see me going like this, and I'm too vain to wear my glasses. I've got glasses here, but I'm just too vain to
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
them.
yeah. Well, I'm blind, so I've got to wear mine all the time.
So I've just done a bit of an introduction on Gail. It was great. I mean, it was a few weeks back that we interviewed her now. So we're going to put the
Yes.
recording, the Zoom recording, after today's session. But um, I had to just go through it again and make some notes on what she was talking about. And she was, and I was, we were asking her, what is a soulmate? And what she was saying was, a soulmate is the person that's actually chosen for you before you're even born. It's like, it's almost like the universe, or if you're religious and you believe in God, Allah, Buddha, like, she's saying it's kind of like a divine connection, and
Yes.
it's two people are matched together before they actually, their souls come into the earth. So, like,
Yes.
what did you make of that, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty deep, and I mean, the interview is great. Do watch it, guys. I mean, it's a
Mm,
lot to take. It was a lot to take in, wasn't it?
yes.
Um, I mean, I'm interested in in all of that twin flame soulmate relationship stuff. You know, I'm hopefully I will be with my soulmate myself one day.
Fingers
I
crossed.
think as time goes on, I think you believe it more and maybe you believe
Mm,
into it more and more, possibly
mm,
because you're like, when is my partner coming? When is my soulmate coming? But
mm, mm,
to, I think it was good to have some insight actually what a soulmate is, because
mm,
I think a lot of us aren't with our actual soulmates, or with a temporary
mm.
soulmate or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to hear all of these different things about actually what a soulmate is, and
Yeah, it
um,
was interesting. And she did say that if you're with somebody already that you've got a really strong connection with, and you don't feel that they're your soulmate, she was saying that there are things that you can do if you're prepared to work on the relationship together to actually create a
yeah,
soulmate relationship, which I found quite interesting as
yes,
well, because I didn't know that,
yeah,
obviously if it's two people put together before you were born, I wasn't sure how, if you're with someone and you're thinking, is this my soulmate? But she was saying that there are things that you can do to work towards a soulmate connection, even though it might not be your ordained kind of delivered soulmate that was,
yeah,
specified for you. But there are things that you can do to work with the one you've got, so to speak. Yeah. So,
yes,
yeah, interesting,
yeah.
interesting.
It was interesting. I
Mm,
think it's much deeper than just finding or picking somebody and
mm.
having a relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
Hi,
much,
Christine.
much.
Yeah.
Yes. So and then the connections of being in that soulmate relationship, and the higher vibrational frequency, and then talking sort of laws of attraction, and attracting great things in that sort of vibrational frequency. Um, business as well, and money, and all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's kind of all connected in that
Yeah,
soulmate
because
relationship.
because following on from that, because I think you asked her, how do you know if you're with your soulmate, and she was saying that there's like an inner knowing. um and she was saying that also you're able to co-create a wonderful life together, and things that you start to manifest and things that you start to aspire to actually naturally start happening, and they start happening fairly quickly. So I thought that was quite interesting, that that's one of the reasons how you know you're with the right person, because things actually do start to work out for you
Yeah,
when you start to co-create together to create the life that you want, and the
yeah,
successes. Not And it's not just your personal life, but your financial life and everything coming
yeah.
together.
Your
So I thought that
your
was
kind of
really cool.
your wishes, your desires. We
Mm.
talk about people talk about law of attraction. I mean, if you've read things like The Secret, for example,
Yes.
and you've got
Yeah.
some of the basics, but she kind of was the next kind of level. What she was talking
Mm.
about. You know, um,
Absolutely.
yeah, but I think if there's somewhere to start, maybe The Secret is a good book to read. If you want to learn a
Mm.
little bit about laws of attraction, manifesting, and that sort of stuff. If you're not sure about it, but and I'm watching something like this about the soulmate relationship could be the next level. You know,
Mm. And I think we went into sort of like the benefits, as to like, why do you need a soulmate? What are the benefits of having a soulmate? And she was saying it opens you up to love. That's the first thing. And then she said it's having somebody who gets you on every level, but also it's sort of like that relationship that you have with your soulmate is like no other relationship that you've ever had with anyone else in the past. It's just on a
yes,
completely different level, and that's the one who you ultimately end up spending the rest of your life with. But it's also having your biggest cheerleader. So you've got to be with somebody who wants to encourage you to fulfill your dreams, and you might not have the same dreams as that person. They
yeah,
may have completely different aspirations and dreams, but you encourage each other to
yeah. I
fulfill
think
your
that
dreams.
was that was a key. I think, yeah,
Mm,
she was saying, it's you help. you're helping each other to, you're not stopping each other from achieving each other's dreams. You kind of, you're fighting together to achieve and live, you know, how you want to live, almost like.
She also said, I remember the one thing she said, you never get tired of hearing their voice. You know, and
Yes.
sometimes you're with someone for a long time, and then even this very sound of their voice can grate on you. As she was saying, like when you're with your soulmate, there's the sound, even the sound of their voice is. I'm
Yes.
sure. I'm sure. My partner will have something to say about that, but she was saying that the sound is even like an angelic harmonic resonance.
Yeah, no, it's interesting what she was saying. It was, it's almost like too good to be true. But then, she's worked with these guys, and
Yeah.
she's been teaching this. I think she said for like 20 years, 20 odd years.
Mm.
So she's helped a lot of guys get into that sort of
Soulmate
attraction.
relationships, yeah.
Yeah, that's someone into that kind of
Yes.
manifesting soulmate. It's a process as well. I think it was quite interesting that there's a lot of work that is involved in yourself, a lot of inner work, a lot of
Mm.
working on yourself.
Mm.
Um, you know, um, I think that's something she mentioned as well. We talked about
Mm.
that in the interview,
Mm.
but
Absolutely. I
yeah,
just want to
nothing
clarify.
comes
Yeah. It's
nothing
what?
comes easy, does it? It's
No.
not.
But I
It's
just want to
no, it just
clarify
comes
because
like that.
yeah, she was saying that like she's even though she's been doing this work for about 20 years, but officially, obviously she's as a qualified certified
Yeah,
love coach, she's been doing it for 6 years, but
yeah,
unofficially she's been doing it for like 20 years. So she's got lots and lots of experience behind her.
yeah.
And yeah, what she was saying was that you have to do the inner work first. And when you are on that soulmate journey, it forces you to do the inner work, doesn't it? It forces you to kind of look
Yes,
within yourself and really work
yes.
out what it is you want from a partner.
Yeah, and but also she's trained and worked with Catherine Ellis, who is
Mm,
like, she's an amazing soulmate coach. I mean,
mm,
you look into. I studied a little bit and listened to some of her stuff. She helps people release. It's like almost like spiritually releasing. We do the release. We talk about releasing, but
mm,
about releasing your ex partners and old thoughts and feelings and old ways, um, to help make those changes
mm,
to attract your soulmate as well. So
mm.
that's something I've learned from Gail as well. She's worked closely with Catherine Ellis, who's she's some mega kind of
Now she
relationship.
lives in California, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean she's
Mm.
like apparently she costs a lot of money to get coaching from her.
Okay. But yeah, so I've heard of have you heard of cord cutting? I've heard of like, where you have to kind of release some of your sort of experiences from the past, like your, experiences you may have had with ex-partners along the way.
Yes,
And they call it's like a process called cord cutting where you sort of imagine an imaginary cord between you and your exes, and then you
yes.
imagine like some scissors coming and cutting it. And I've heard about that process. So is it similar to that, where they're just sort of like releasing you from some of
Yeah,
the baggage, really, from the past?
yeah. I guess so. I mean, it's
Mm,
it's all kind of similar, isn't it? It's just a different,
yeah.
slightly different. But I know you do meditations. I mean, I've been with Gail before, and she does um, sort of these lovely little meditations and stuff. I think didn't we do one at the end of the interview?
We did. She got us to do one at the end of the interview, which was amazing. It was
Yes.
really short, really tiny, but it just gave you like that little bit of inner focus, and she was like,
Yes.
breathe. Um so we talked about how you know that you got your soulmate, because there is like you say, there's an inner knowing. You're
Yeah.
able to build a life together, and it's easier. I'm not saying that life is easy, but it's definitely easier than you know, perhaps if you compare it to partners that you've had before. And she talked about what working through your own doubts and insecurities, and also some of the sort of limiting beliefs that we can have about relationships. And maybe, you know, some of us have been scarred from previous relationships, and you
Yeah.
have to be careful not to bring that baggage to the new relationship, which I guess that goes for anyone, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I guess we're all going to bring some kind of baggage, but I guess it
Mm.
helps to it's all about releasing it, to release some of it before you settle
Mm.
into another, try and get into another relationship. I guess looking, you're almost like looking for healing from the other person. Well, kind of, we need to do that ourselves in a way,
Yeah.
you know.
But actually, she did say that. She said that when you enter into a soulmate relationship, it is very, very healing. So
Yes.
that, you know, so it's something that you will be healed. Not like they're not like a healer or anything like that, but you will be doing that inner work with yourself that will encourage them to do some inner work. And together, you're
Yes.
healing together from the past, but also together that you're creating that energy and that vibration of love, which actually goes on to help to heal the planet. So it all got very kind of deep, didn't it?
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I mean, you know, it's I guess it's all connected. We don't talk about it. It's not something
mm,
that's spoken
widely
about, is it? But
spoken. It's not. It's
yeah.
not. So I will encourage you to watch the interview with Gale De Souza after this little discussion, because yeah, you will find it goes very, very deep, and we'd love to hear your comments about it. Hi Claire, hi Catherine, see who else? Hi Jenny, hi Robert. We've got quite a few people online. It's good to see you. Send us your comments. Let us know what your thoughts are about soulmates while we're online. We're not going to be online for much longer.
Yeah.
So please do send us your comments while we're online, because it'd be great to
Yeah.
hear from you.
Watch the interview and let us know as well. If you've got
Yeah,
any thoughts
feedback.
about the interview.
And one of the things that we were talking about is how sometimes when you're with partners who haven't been quite right, and everything just seems hard and difficult, and there's lots of games being played, and you know,
Yeah.
sometimes when you're with your soulmate, it's kind of like it's almost like it's gliding. It's easy. You're not pushing upstream. You're flowing downstream, and it's a lot. It just feels like a lot easier. The energy is different, and yeah, so that's something to look out for. And yeah, and she said it happens quite often when you meet a soulmate partner. You end up making that commitment fairly quickly. You know, you don't have these great big long 7, 8, 9 year engagements. You know, like literally within maybe 1 or 2 years, it will all happen, and you'll be together, because you just know very, very quickly that that is the person for you, and what you that's what you've always wanted. So if you're lucky enough to be in your soulmate relationship, please do let us know what it's like, because we've got a few people online now. So I'd love to hear from you. Come on, don't be shy. Give us some feedback about what it's like being in a soulmate relationship. Um, so we are going to go into some tips right now. And I think once we've done the tips, we will then post up the link to the video, and we'll get you to watch it. And you can let us know what your thoughts are on it. So everyone's been a bit shy tonight, so we're not getting many comments. So we'll just go straight into the tips.
Do you want to do the
So once we
tips? You do the tips. Go for it.
okay, have you got any? You got any tips as well? You want to add? If you want to add to it, then yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first tip that we came up with was to make a list of what you want. And she was saying, like, it's really, really important to create this list and actually really take the time to think about what you want on this list. Don't settle, okay?
Yeah.
And put all the elements that you want in terms of the characteristics. What type of person you want? You know, where will they live? You know, anything you can think of. You know, just get it down on
Yeah.
paper.
Write it down. Right. Get a diary or something like that, and just
Mm.
don't hold back. You know, if you're a girl and you love a guy with blonde hair, and you know, just go with the guy with blonde hair because you'll probably end up always looking at the guy with blonde hair if you date the black guy, you know, the black haired guy, like, you know,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
Uh,
Or it could be a girl with blonde hair.
yes,
Yeah,
you know,
could be, could be any partner that you're attracted to. It doesn't, it doesn't necessarily have to be a guy if you're a girl. So understand that each journey is bespoke. This was quite, Gail was very clear on that. She was saying that one size does not fit all, and that for everybody's soulmate journey is going to be slightly different. So what works for you might not work for
yeah,
somebody else, might not work for someone else.
yeah,
So what she was saying was just,
yeah.
don't
I think
compare,
I,
basically.
I
Mm.
think a lot of people are kind of pushed away from their soulmates by other people's thoughts and beliefs, and you know, so I think I thought about that a lot when we finished the discussion as well, because I was like, yeah, just think somebody says, oh yeah, I don't think they're the right person for you, but you might feel like they really are, you know.
Mm. So what do you do in that circumstance then? What do you do?
Lose out. Yeah, but you know, um,
Do you think you would be influenced if somebody said, I don't think that's the right person for you? Would you take
yeah,
notice of
I
that?
mean,
Or
if I think it, you can be, can't you? If you're not careful, if it's somebody
mm.
that you know you're used to sharing and taking advice from over the years, let's say,
Mm.
you know, let's see, something like Claire's just made is a great post there. Sometimes depends on past lives if they were negative or positive.
Mm. So do you mean like if the person was negative or positive, or do you mean if they're like they radiate positive energy or negative energy? So maybe just clarify that, Claire, because I think that's a fantastic point. Um, because Gail did go into past lives, didn't she? She was saying that
Yeah,
sometimes, it could be somebody that you knew in a past life, and now you've decided, you've made an agreement. And I mean, I don't know if everybody believes in that, but
yeah,
we appreciate not everybody believes in past lives, but for those who do, that would be something to think about.
I
And
mean,
that's what Gail was saying. Mm.
if you think about it, it does happen. I mean, you do hear many people in relationships get or meet somebody and say, oh, I feel like I've known you all my life, or I feel like I've met you before. I
Met you
feel like we were
before.
married in another life,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? And nearly everyone I've spoken to who, when they very first met their partners, who they're subsequently now still with, a
Yeah,
lot of them said, "Oh my God, I just had this feeling that I'd known them before, even though we could never have met." So it is interesting. Whether
yeah.
there's definitely could be something in that. But yes,
And
Claire, it's a great comment. Thank you for that.
Claire,
But yeah, just
you know what?
clarify what you mean by negative or positive, or whether you're talking about their energy, or whether you're talking about whether they were just a negative or positive person.
I
Mm.
guess adding to what Claire's just said,
Mm.
if you don't meet your soulmate in in this lifetime, like you know, if you're negative in this lifetime and you change it to being like positive in your next lifetime, you could then meet your soulmate. You know, like
Mm.
I
So
don't
maybe
know.
that you could
That's
just be
just
here to learn lessons or get yourself to the next level.
yes.
Mm. Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Nice, good
Now
comment, Claire. Good comment.
it's what, sorry?
I say that's a good comment from Claire. That's a good
Yes,
comment.
thank you, Claire. And then she was talking. Then she went into like online dating, didn't she? Because obviously, a lot of
Yeah,
people are online dating at the moment, and she was saying as fun as it is, um, obviously communicating with people online. She was saying that you need to get offline as soon as possible. So, just keep it to a minimum in terms of the communication. And then she was saying, try and get to meet the person, um, you know, face to face as soon as possible,
yes,
because she was saying you could end up wasting a lot of time communicating with somebody, and it's not. you're not going to get that energetic connection until you actually meet them face to face. So she was saying as soon as it's comfortable, get offline as quickly as possible. So for those of you who are
Yes.
online dating and having this back and forth, um, that's going on and on and on for months, try to minimize that and try to get a face to face. I mean, I know it's difficult because we've got COVID as well. You don't have to
Yes,
wear your
tricky at
mask.
the moment.
Like, wear your mask and then do the big reveal when you get to the restaurant. Um, but yeah, it's not easy during the whole COVID thing as well. You've got to consider
Yes.
that with what's going on, and it must be much harder for people to go out and meet other people because obviously everyone wants to stay
Yeah.
safe as well. But yeah, she did say that that whole online thing is just keep it to a minimum. As soon
Yeah.
as you have a connection with someone, she was saying you need to get in front of them as soon as possible. So we've got a comment
Yeah.
here
I
from
mean,
Jenny.
yes, I've seen that.
Um,
Sounds like you're with your soulmate, Jenny.
yeah, so she was saying she knew within a short period of time that that's the person that she wanted to marry. And that was another thing that she was saying, that you do find out very quickly when you're in a soulmate
Yeah.
relationship, and the fact that it's lasted 25 years, I would say that pretty much that is your soulmate. Although, as someone once put it to me, sometimes you just end up staying with the person whose bad habits you can tolerate.
Hopefully not, Jenny. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But that's it. That is
No,
a
I tell
great
you,
comment. Mm,
I had a conversation with Gail actually
mm,
about the online dating stuff, especially now with COVID, where
yes.
many people are kind of just they're trying to get together, you know, like and be together and pair up like before lockdowns, or so they can like couple up during lockdowns and um, just to be close to somebody. And
Mm.
that was quite interesting because just to get into a relationship almost almost
Ah.
I can't there was a word for it. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, is
I'll
this
find it
the
out.
COVID coughing?
That's the one.
COVID coughing, yes, I've heard of that.
That's yeah. We had a there was she sent us a link to it, didn't she? COVID cupping.
Yes, yes, yes. It's about couples who settle very, very
Yes,
quickly, without
yes,
sort of giving it too much thought, just because they want to settle
yes,
down because of COVID, in case there's a lockdown or in case, you know, there's
yes,
more restrictions and things like that. So
yes,
we just have to be mindful of that.
yeah. And so a lot of people are doing that meeting through like dating apps.
Mm, mm.
Um, so yeah, just well, be careful,
And,
guys.
and just as we're talking about dating, she was saying that how, as much, the dating process has got to be fun and you've got to enjoy it. If it becomes quite
Yes,
stressful, then maybe you need to sort of like move on and date other people. But she was saying that dating should be fun and it should be exciting, and you should having a good time. And if it's really stressful, or it gives you sort of headaches, then yeah, you're not dating in the right pool, as it were, and perhaps need to think
yeah,
about the pool of people that you're dating. And she was saying that, and to be mindful of the fact that, I remember she said, and this was the point that surprised both of us, and she was saying that when you're dating someone, um, you're still free. You're still free and open to
yes,
meeting your soulmate. So, for example, you could be dating a person, and you're finding out if that's your soulmate, but then you could still be dating somebody else, because
yeah,
until you're engaged, until you're married, until you've made that commitment, or you've decided that you don't obviously have to get married, but until you've made a commitment that you're going to live with that person or stay with that person long term, until
yes,
that commitment is discussed, then effectively you're still free to date. And she was saying that people sometimes think, oh well, because I'm dating this person, I can't actually then I'm cutting myself off. And she was saying you could actually be cutting yourself off from your soulmate just because you're
Yes.
dating someone. But that dating someone could be very casual, you know. It could
Yeah.
be casual to the other person. You might be putting more into it than they are. So that's another
Yeah.
thing. There needs to be that balance there.
Yeah. So
So
careful not to cut off your soulmate.
yes, because she was saying that you could be dating like Mr. Wrong or Mrs. Wrong for
Yeah.
months and months and months and thinking, oh well, I'm dating someone, I'm going to cut myself off. But actually, she's saying no, you're not taken until you've made a commitment and you've had that conversation and you've decided to make a commitment to each other. So yeah, so that was quite interesting because people sometimes feel bad, don't they, about dating more than one person? But
Yeah.
I guess until you're committed, then yeah, there's no commitment until you're committed. Mm.
So what else? What other tips you said? Um, yeah, you
Uh,
said that. She said you know when you found your soulmate because it will be easy.
yes, there won't be any games. That's what we were talking about. There won't be
Yeah,
too
yeah,
much
yeah,
game
yeah.
playing and things like that. It'll just be very straightforward.
Yeah,
Um, Look for love all around you. Put yourself in a love energy. Stop negative thinking about men or women. Um,
yeah.
because sometimes, again, that's what we were talking about bringing baggage from the past. And then sort of
Yes.
like, I've heard people say all men are this or all women are that, and it's kind of like it's very easy to sort of like pinpoint people or certain groups of people and say, yeah, all people from London are like this, or all people from the north are like that, and you sometimes put
Yeah,
them in groups and categorize them, or people who work in the city are like this, So it's I've heard too many people say things that are sweeping generalizations about groups of people. And what she was saying is if you put yourself in the vibration of love, and also you look for love all around you. So she was saying, look for good stories, talk to people who've been together for long periods of time and ask them how they met.
yeah,
Listen to the love stories and put yourself in that vibration. And that's really, really important because once you tap into that energy, then you will feed off that energy and then you will absorb it, and it will be easier for you when you do go out and you meet new people for the first time.
yeah,
You are then giving off that same love energy, which is the highest level of energy. So yeah.
yeah. Yes. And I'm just looking at what Jenny's just made another comment.
And
She said it's important to have a wide range of friends with both genders and different types of relationships. Then you find out what is important to you.
yes, that's a really
And
good point, is actually widen your circle.
yeah, um, because I think Gail also, we were talking to Gail and she was saying about how, you could have a soulmate kind of friend relationship. And,
Mm,
it wasn't just about your husband or your wife, you know, um, you could have that a kind of friendship and that it could be on the
mm,
soulmate level, you know.
mm, mm.
So yeah,
Saying the commitment
that's
thing is
interesting.
interesting. It's about attitude, honesty, and letting mm, those you're in a relationship know that where each other stand. Unfortunately, not everyone sees the openness in the same way.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I guess that
So that,
the thing there is
mm,
always just to focus on yourself and
mm,
you know not what others. Everyone's going to have different view, different belief, um, different values and stuff. So, but yes, that's another good point, Jenny.
yeah, and being open when you are in a relationship, and getting things out fairly early on, because again, even like a lot of women will say to me, well, I was in a relationship with this guy for 2 years and then I found out he didn't want to have children. And,
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, you waited 2 years to bring that conversation up, and that, when you're a woman, 2 years is a long time, especially if you're
yeah,
getting close to your biological. age for having children. So it can be quite an issue, particularly for women, unfortunately, that we just have that window of time that if you want to have children, that you don't have that time to mess about. And
Yeah.
you know, if something doesn't feel right, then you will have to kind of sometimes you will have to have that honest and open conversation and say, well, you know, can I see myself going forward with this person? And, you know, do they want the same things in life generally? Do we have this, you know, similar values? Can we see ourselves, you know, going forward for a long time? And if,
Yeah.
you know, once you start to have those frank discussions and start to have that honest look, that open look, and I think sometimes people are scared to look just in case the answer's no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
uh,
what else? What else we got? So we've got one more. Well, there was one last tip. That's
oh, hang on. So Claire said one of the closest soul relationships is a twin flame, then flame mate, followed by a soulmate. Ah, okay. So yeah, we briefly talked about twin flame relationships.
yeah.
And she says flame mate. We didn't go into flame mates, but she said about twin flames, and twin flames are not necessarily your soulmate. Yeah, so
Yes.
that is an interesting and a much deeper conversation to be had there. So yeah,
Yes.
great point. So thank you for that, Claire. Hi, Levins. Hi, Jadelle. Okay, and Jenny says it's all about being free. Absolutely, it's about it being free flowing, but it's also about you know, like she was saying, like, you know, when you in a relationship you have that honeymoon period, and that can
Yes.
last like 4, 5, 6 months or whatever, and then afterwards it's kind of like oh.
Yes.
And then she was saying that when you're with your soulmate, you don't really have that moment. You kind of it just follows on to another
Goes
level.
on.
So it's
Yeah.
not the same, obviously, as that first 6 months or whatever, but it just goes
Yeah.
on to a different level, and it's a deeper connection. And she was saying, but you don't have that kind of, oh, I don't know what I've done here,
Yeah.
and that kind of, oh, I'm just tolerating this person. You know, you don't have those kind of feelings. You just have that, like she said, you have an inner knowing that this person you could end up spending the rest of your natural life with this person. So yeah, it was really, really, really fascinating. I thought so.
Yeah. Honeymoon. The honeymoon period. I thought it was 2 weeks.
2 weeks, Richard. This is where you're going wrong, isn't it? 2 weeks. Come on. No, it's about 6 months, isn't it?
All right, calm down. Just a joke.
Okay, so can anyone tell us what the honeymoon period is? We'd like to know. Please let us know very, very soon, because Richard thinks it's 2 weeks and I think it's 6 months. So please do let us know. Okay, so the final one. So we had 6 tips. So we've done 5 so far.
Yeah.
And the final one was, she was saying, to build on yourself, do the inner work, as we always said. And if you saw our interview with Coach Julia Keller, which we did last time we were on air,
Yeah.
she has a whole load of tips about doing the inner work and building your self-esteem. And a lot of it was connected to nutrition and self-love. So do watch that interview if you want to know about inner work, because that was quite full and comprehensive. And this is again what Gale is saying, that you know, you may have to do some of that work on yourself. Jenny says the honeymoon period lasts 25 years.
Fantastic.
Well, that's fantastic, and I think that is a brilliant note to end on. So if you find someone and their honeymoon period lasts 25, or maybe she said, or maybe I should say 30. If if it lasts for 25 years, come back and tell us in 25 years' time, yeah?
Yes.
And let us know how it's going.
Yes.
So finally, Gale also offered a free 30-minute session with the first 6 people who respond to this offer. And she was saying to just go through myself or through Richard. So, if you're connected with Richard, go through Richard. If you're connected to me, you can come through me.
Yeah.
And you will fix you up with Gale. She will do you a free 30-minute session, and there's no obligation after that to purchase anything. But if you just want to know a little bit more about soulmates, then she has offered that, but she can only offer that to 6 people. So yeah, she's not on Facebook, unfortunately. So if you just connect through us, we'll then put you in touch with Gale. All right. Did you want to add anything else, Richard?
No, I think just that last bit, we
Mm,
started on it about working yourself, doing the inner work.
mm,
We talked about it doing inner work with Julia as well, and it's
mm,
kind of on a deeper kind of level. Um, and I mean, I find I find myself always having to do a bit of inner work,
mm.
and it's a continuous thing. I
It
think
is continuous,
that's
and I think we all have to do that. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's just a reminder for guys as well.
Mm,
It's not just a one off and then off you go. It's a continuous thing.
mm,
So you know put in some work in yourself. You can change your values, your beliefs, your vibrational frequency. You can change your whole life. You know, and don't if I could say, don't think that it's not possible or you don't deserve it. It's anything's possible, and yes, you do deserve all the best things in life. So work towards them.
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, thank you. So I think people are probably dying to watch this now. So I think what we'll do, we'll end it there, and then I'll post the link to the video in the comments, and also I'll post the tips out as well a bit later on. Okay. So
Fantastic.
unless anyone's got any more comments, I think that's it. Thank you for listening. Do we
Gail,
say goodbye?
we always say, I'll say thanks to Gail. Watch the interview.
Mm,
And Roz,
mm.
thank you so much. It's great to speak with you and see you.
Okay, great stuff. Thank you. And we will see you on the last Wednesday in November. Okay.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jenny says interesting. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks.